When Abe was young, he once tried to climb the highest peak in Springfield, but just as he was about to reach the summit, his teammate stole his backpack and pushed him off the mountain. Abe barely survived the fall, but that teammate was never seen again. Homer thought Abe's story had to be made up, so he decided to give it a try himself. For his safety, the organizers even found 2 tanned white guides to accompany him. 2 days later, Homer had already finished his 14th oxygen canister and pulled out the 15th.
Dad? Shouldn't you save a couple bottles for when you're a little higher?
The 2 guides had promised the sponsors that Homer would definitely reach the top, so when he fell asleep, they carried him higher up the mountain. When Homer woke up, he realized he was already halfway up. Meanwhile, the sponsors were promoting heavily, claiming that after eating their energy bars, Homer climbed straight to the halfway point. The next night, the guides tried the same trick. This time something went wrong, and Homer woke up shivering from the cold. He didn't want to keep slacking off like this, not when his son was watching from below, so he fired the 2 guides. He even reported the news to the sponsors, saying he was confident he could make it to the top since his bag was full of their energy bars. That sent the sponsors into a panic because they knew their bars had no actual energy at all. But Homer insisted he wouldn't give up halfway and shut off the radio. The sponsors had no choice but to publicly announce that from now on, whatever Homer did had nothing to do with their company. Bart worried about his dad, but Marge had faith in him. At that moment, Homer was charging toward the summit. Even though he was in better shape than before, against such a steep peak, no amount of stamina was enough. As he climbed, he suddenly saw a stairway to heaven. When you see that, it means you're not far from God. But the only radio he had to call for help was snatched away by a goat, so Homer had no choice but to go all in. Reaching the summit became his only way out. With sheer willpower, he finally made it, only to realize what he thought was the top was just a slope, and the real summit was still far ahead. Homer gave up, but he couldn't go back down either. Luckily, he found a cave nearby and decided to rest there. Inside, he ran into the very teammate from Abe's story. In his journal, the man wrote that it was Abe who stole his oxygen tank and left him stranded. That was nothing like the version Abe had told. Homer realized he'd probably end up the same way, stuck there forever, so he decided to leave the Simpson name behind as a message to Bart. But when he planted the flag, it triggered an avalanche that sent him straight to the summit. After finally reaching the peak, all Homer wanted was to go home, so he hopped on a sled to slide down the mountain. Don't ask where the sled came from. The first thing he did after making it back was brag to Bart, but the flag he planted had broken, leaving only the pole. Even without proof, Bart still chose to believe that his dad really had reached the top.
You're the coolest dad ever.
Thanks, Bart.